Hello everybody, I'm Yoshihigami, Executive Advisor, Boss and Roland. Today Matt Knight is joining from UK. Good morning, Matt.
Hi there, Yoshi-san, and welcome to everyone tuning in. For regulars, you'll know this as Talk with Boss. For anyone new, this is our regular live stream where we dive into a different boss topic. And Yoshi-san, perhaps you can introduce the theme for this month's stream.
Yeah, today we are going to talk about Waza Craft series pedals. And we already talked about Waza Craft pedals in 2020. But today I want to talk about the behind the scenes. And so that should be very much fun story.
Yeah. I think 2020 was also a long time ago. So perhaps we can reintroduce some stories, but also some new things as well. But before we dive into some of the detail, let me just explain the concept for anyone perhaps who is new. So Waza Craft are our made in Japan compact series, designed by our sort of boss expert engineers. So carefully selecting all of the analog components and designing the analog circuit in every detail, Waza Craft kind of brings the exceptional tone and touch response to our sort of compact lineup. And of course, we have many things to discuss. So Yoshi-san, do you want to maybe give a bit more background to start?
Yes. So first time we released Waza Craft series pedal in 2014. I was leaving Boss in 2007 and returned to Boss in 2013. So during such 6 years, Boss business is kind of like sluggish, and sometimes people say Boss is very much conservative and sometimes boring or something. So in 2013, when I returned to Boss, I traveled a lot. Maybe I met you first time at the time, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And in 2014, January, winter now, we showed OD1X and DS1X, two X series pedals. And same year, July, summer now. We released Waza Craft series, three pedals, BD2dab, SD1dab, and DM2dab. So in 2014, so the trend was boutique. So, boutique and mod type of pedals. Our strong point is making pedals for wider range of customers. So we are providing best sound for everybody. But boutique pedal and handmade pedals, they are kind of like much more deeper development. So very much emotional and special, people think. So at that time, people don't understand we have same passion like boutique people. So I wanted to show our passion to customers and musicians. So we created a new slogan, Breakthrough. And we tried to make a new challenge. And this slogan, Breakthrough, is not only outward message. I wanted to tell my engineers to the same thing. We should make a breakthrough. So that is very much first time important concept of Waza Craft series.
And I think, as you mentioned, around 2014, there were a lot of people modifying pedals in the market. It was quite a big trend, as well as a kind of rise of more boutique brands. But was the idea perhaps behind Waza Craft to restrain such manufacturers from modding our pedals?
So probably in late 90s, mod was started. Robert Keeley and Analog Man made a mod pedal by using Boss pedals.
Yeah.
So they they were very much respecting Boss, and they accepted Boss pedals as their platform. So I didn't have any, disgust to mod, and also mod people. They are very much good friend, And but customers thought, Boss is too much wider range of the sound, and they have a more deeper tuning for very limited people. And sometimes professional guitarists loved to use mod type compared to original one.
Yeah.
So my understanding mod is they are changing sound character to adapting some special people. So our customers are very much wide. So that's tuning is totally different,
Yeah.
And also after they made a boom, a lot of guys get into the same business, because it's easy to make a mod. Just purchase Boss pedal and change limited parts. So some guys just change the parts to expensive audio parts, and somebody is changing sound character. Of course, that is different from the original, but I had a little doubt. Is that really good or just different?
Yeah.
And worst case, somebody is just changing knobs and put the sticker on the body, and then they price it over $300 or something. Such a steep price,
Yeah.
So, and also some people who like mod, they thought Boss doesn't understand the sound, So as a result, Boss brand image is kind of little down, and people say Boss image is conservative or sometimes boring. So I didn't want to hear such a bad reputation. So we are providing pedals to wider range of customers. So that sound tuning is kind of like generalized. But that doesn't mean we don't have technology or we don't understand the sound. We are same to boutique people. We love the sound, guitar and pedals, and we understand totally what is good sound. So I asked my people to have breakthrough challenge. And at the same time, I wanted to show our technology and the passion. So, having a respect to Boss originals design and also adding new proposal of the sound. That is one of the concept of Waza craft pedal series.
Yeah, I think as we spoke in many of these live streams, it's a lot about getting the passion of what we do across to the customers. And I guess for Waza, the huge advantage for us was that we know everything about the original circuit design. That's a huge, starting point for us. So how would you say is the difference between the modification from others and the mods that perhaps Boss made in Waza series?
Yeah, mod guys, they are using Boss pedals as a platform, so they cannot change, big change. They cannot make big change. Sometimes they just only change the register, capacitor, making different sound, different tuning, and sometimes they can change the device parts. Very much important part is distortion circuit. Just one diode changes to LED or two diodes or something,
Yeah.
So we can change everything, So for example, we can change print circuit board. That means we can use totally different circuit if necessary.
Yeah.
So we have very much flexible idea and decide what we should do, So sometimes we just keep sound character and change the circuit to discrete design. We can reduce noise, So, and also we don't have a limitation. So we can create something new value on same model. Of course, that requires our manpower and the cost. But why we need to copy mod guys? We should be original always.
Of course.
So I want to introduce some prototype circuit board.
Ah, please.
Yeah. This is Dc2dab Prototype. A little bit complicated circuit, so it looks a little bit dirty, but this is very important prototype. And also this one. Yeah, this one is HM2W. Maybe I introduced this photo on Facebook HM2W group.
Yeah.
A little bit clean, simple circuit. So.
And do we have all of those? They must be a kind of museum piece.
Yeah. We have everything.
Oh, amazing. And I think, again, what's good to see there is the design process. Like you say, there's no need to copy someone modding our design. We can start again from the beginning and change things as we need to. And we'll discuss a little bit more deeply in a minute. I thought we'd just quickly check in with the comments. As always, please do add your comments, impressions into the box below. And I can see our team are already answering a few people. So morning to, we've got Tubular Bill. We've got Lord. I hope I pronounced that correctly. CKH Gator. Alec. Morning, Alec. J-Bay. Christian, Richie, Boss is the Boss, of course, always welcome back, and Jay Manson as well. Many people joining, of course. Christian says he's on a break, so perfect timing. Watching from Kuwait, so welcome. Some people from Tokyo. Many people. Good morning from the USA. So as always, thank you for joining. We're going to discuss many more details now. So as we go through, please do leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you as we talk a bit deeper. So Yoshi-san, let's talk a little bit about the process then of development. So we'll start with the standard mode in our Waza series. So in terms of standard mode, which every Waza pedal has, can you tell us about how the development starts for that side of the pedal?
Yeah, so Waza pedals, most important thing is, first thing is regenerate original sound character. For example, DM2, DC2, HM2, they are already discontinued model because we couldn't purchase original parts. So we had no selection. We had to stop production. So that means now we cannot purchase any same parts. So we need to use current, latest parts. So we try to recreate same sound by using different parts. So we try to make another combination with parts, and also sometimes we need to redesign the circuit. So we recreate same sound as a standard mode. So as I said, from making print circuit board. So that is kind of like a, most fun part for engineers.
Yeah. I guess it's it must be a tough place to start to reproduce the original sound, especially when those pedals are discontinued, parts are discontinued, and again, we kind of have to start from the beginning. But what about in terms of existing pedals, so SD1 or BD2? do we just take the same circuit and add to the Waza version?
Yeah. So that's question we have had a lot, and it's easy to get original sound if we use totally the same circuit and same parts. But for Waza pedals, we always check all the parts and circuit again. If it's necessary, and also if it gives something positive change, we change the parts and circuit. So like reducing noise and also improving bypass sound, because older days people use only 2-3 pedals, but now 8 or 10 or up to 10, people use a lot of pedals. So the situation is a little bit different. So we wanted to improve bypass sound. And also another interesting example is HM2W. So reacting to the voice of customers, we changed the output level plus 3 dB. So increase the output level.
Yeah, I think most, as we said earlier, most modified products are just kind of 1 or 2 components, and that changes the sound. But we can actually review the entire circuit. We can actually add additional value to the original sound, and I guess that's a point that we're really particular about. The engineers are particular about. We can reanalyze a circuit that is perhaps 10 or 20 or 40 years old. So I think that's a really interesting point. And then, of course, we come to the custom mode, which is a totally different sound character. So how do we decide the sound in the custom mode, for example?
Yeah, that's a good question. There is no exact correct answer about the sound. And also, it's easy to just make a different sound. But that is most chance to show our skill, So no answer, but trend of music, and also, such kind of hint we have. So we decided sound direction on each pedal. But common sense is always we want to use original character of the sound, and also very much useful and the new body of the sound for maybe not very much limited musician, a little bit wider musicians. That is bass polish, right? So that tuning is very much important, and also we need to show our skill and experience and knowledge, So we are listening from the original user's opinion, and also checking current music scene. So easy understanding example is DM2W. That has very long delay time, double from the original. So that's provide much more wider use for the music style or tempo thing.
Yeah, I think, obviously many people love the original, but perhaps, want more delay time or more practical or for different types of music. So I think, that's a good example. We can adjust the performance features to a much wider range of musicians for a current music scene. So in DM2W, we also support stereo or, expression pedal. This is kind of considering more modern uses of the pedal. And then I guess another common question, perhaps you're always asked, Yoshi-san, is what is the criteria to select a new Waza pedal?
Yeah, it's not easy, First, that should be very legendary pedal,
Of course.
So like SD1. Still, we are making SD1, but that has a very long life unsymmetrical clipping circuit. That is very much unique SD1 point. And also BD2 has very unique sound character. And that was the first pedal to try like a tube amplifier sound. And also, you know, when we recreate that pedal as a Waza pedal, and using very much original good point and what we can add on that pedal, that is very much important. But honestly, ultimately, we make a pedal which we want to have, you know. So, and of course, we are listening the voice from the market, and also, of course, you know, we cannot react to every request. But for example, HM2W we released in 2021, that pedal is creating with customers. Totally, they were involved to this project. And HM2 core fans, they drove us to make this project, you know. And also this year we released the RE2. This is not Waza pedal, but people wanted to have RE2 as a Waza pedal. But RE201 sound is very much complicated. A lot of analog parameters are not stable, and that's impossible to recreate by analog circuit. So we decided to use DSP. So we decided RE2 released in regular pedal line. So, but you know, most of the requests HM2W RE2, we are reacting such a request as much as possible.
Yeah, I think you know, and it's a good point. You know, making sure that the pedal can be done and that it's the best thing to do. Something like RE2, it was better to realize, you know, with DSP, you know, technology, but no less passion in that project compared to the Waza development. There's just maybe more history behind some of the Waza pedals. And of course, Yoshi-san, as we spoke before, you have a background as an engineer. So how is your relation with the Waza pedal development?
So I checked all the final sound and sound tuning. So today, before this program, I checked some new product. I cannot tell you guys what I did, but I still be involved in such a check of this final sound. And you know, this final check is very much important process. And you know, I need to check the project is getting to be our target direction or not. Sometimes I stop and changing the shipping schedule, but we need to keep, you know, our quality. So if it's not good or a little bit different direction, I need to adjust the sound. And also, if necessary, we change the schedule, of course. And also, you know, product planning is very much important. When we start new product development, first we discuss which type of pedal we create, and also what direction of the custom model sound. You know, engineers, they have different taste. Young guy loves death metal or something, you know. Sometimes that's good for HM2W project, but sometimes that's not good. So we are discussing a lot, and having same understanding of sound direction, we start a new project. And you know, sometimes we have very much deep discussion, like fighting, you know. When we had a MT2W project, Metal Zone, young engineer, he said, MT2 sound is not good, so we need to change all the sound. But I said, you don't have respect to original design, you should not be involved in this project. You know,
Yeah.
making different sound is easy, but that is a new product, not Waza. Waza is based on legendary pedal. We need to have a respect to our past design and the sound. Otherwise,
absolutely.
There is no meaning to create Waza pedal by Boss, right?
Yeah. I think, like you said, again, there's so much discussion in so many ways the sound could go, but ultimately it's trying to make something that, is heritage to the original, but also something for modern players as well. So thank you for your, understanding of that and development in those Waza pedals as well. I think it's been a good 7 or 8 years so far, so it's been very exciting.
So Matt, what was your first impression when you saw new Waza pedals?
Well, interesting, because I guess for me and you, Yoshi-san, kind of a bit of a story, because you came to visit me when I worked in a retailer in 2013.
13, yes.
And we had many discussions about Boss, and I said I love Boss, but many people think maybe boring or conservative. So you said, we need to go away and make a change, and maybe 12 months later, maybe less, first kind of Waza pedals, and instantly my reaction was kind of, bringing that kind of made in Japan, that kind of, that design and that kind of idea. But my first experience trying was actually DM2W. And I thought, oh, wow, analog, I could never try original, too expensive, too rare. So, it was kind of great to see that and the heritage, and kind of realize I kind of knew Boss, almost kind of reintroducing Boss in some ways. So I think that was, really, really strong and instantly felt by many people. And, if anyone watching now has a kind of their first experience with Wazacraft pedals, please do let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. But one thing for me, and I think one comment from many, was obviously adding the Waza kanji badge to the rubber on the front of the pedals. Why did we decide, why did you ultimately decide to add the kanji into the name of these pedals? Yeah,
so as you said, I was traveling a lot in 2013. So I visited a lot of dealers and talked with a lot of people. And especially from Europe, UK guys said, well, Japan is a cool country because Japan has anime, manga, and also kanji. A lot of guys are having tattoo like you, but you don't have kanji tattoo. But some guys are having kanji tattoo. And also, that people say, why you don't use Japanese image? You guys are a Japanese company. So I wanted to back to very much original. We have a lot of good legendary product. We have a history, but sometimes we forget about such a huge asset and just making a new thing. So I wanted to use such a big asset. Then one idea is using kanji on the product. So, and also a lot of guys asked made in Japan, but it's not easy. So we started Waza pedals as inspected in Japan. But after 1 or 2 years later, we totally moved all production Waza pedal in Japan. And also Waza is very much famous in Western people. Probably at that time, some sports gear manufacturers like Adidas or Nike, they use the advertisement, "What's up?" So that sounds similar to Waza. And also at the Olympic, judo competition, they use Waza or something. So we decided to use Waza. And also that is kind of like a simple but cool shape as a kanji. So good for tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. I think that kanji characters are obviously quite popular in, as you say, in Western culture. We kind of know and we see them quite a lot. They're used quite a lot. So I think that was kind of a great design choice. But what does the actual, for maybe people who don't know, what does the actual kanji, the Waza kanji on the pedals mean in English?
Yeah, Waza is actually meaning craftsmanship. Yeah, but for Western people, meaning is not so much a big meaning, right? Just I think stylish design is important.
Yeah, I think it's good that not only does it have real meaning, and maybe people didn't know that meaning, but also it looked cool, obviously. Also the same for other products we have used, like katana, It's kind of good to have that kind of design. And again, to our heritage as well. So before we move on to the current Waza pedal lineup, just checking in on a few new people joining. Morning to Scott. Jay Manson. Jay Manson's asking, what did you check today? But I think you say you cannot tell.
Yeah, I have to keep it secret.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Jay Bay here said he loves multi-effects, but always in the search of legacy sounds. And again, that's very much what we're trying to do with Waza. And BMO said, Waza delay is my first and only so far. Well, you've got many more to go, which we're going to talk about right now, because as we said earlier, our last talk with Boss on Waza was in August 2020.
Yeah.
So 18 months ago. And actually in that time, we have had many new challenges, but also many new products as well. So for anyone who is unfamiliar with the current line or just needs a refresher, we have 11 Waza pedals now. So we have SD1W, which is our super overdrive, BD2W, our blues driver, DM2W delay, CE2W chorus, VB2W vibrato, TU3W tuner, MT2W metal zone, DC2W dimension C, TB2W tone bender, HM2W heavy metal, and FZ1W fuzz. So many new products.
Yeah, so last time we had only eight pedals in 2020. But last 2 years we increased 3 pedals.
Yeah, and 3 pedals in 2 years. And I think considering our normal development time, and we spoke about that in previous streams, there was a lot to get into that time. So certainly we're making a very strong effort into that series. And of course, as we said, we talked about it in August 2020. But since then, what new challenges have come about with Waza pedals?
Yeah, last 2 years was very much challenging years. First one, TB2W. So, currently Waza pedals are kind of like self-modified of our legendary Boss pedals, but TB2W is designed as a solar sound tone bender Mark II by using germanium transistor. So someone wrote comment, but that's limited quantity. I'm so sorry, but we could purchase only one wafer of germanium transistor, and that is 10,000 or something. And finally, we produced around 3,000 pedals. But that is limited quantity, so we had some trouble. But we wanted to try to make the best fuzz sound by using germanium transistor. So we got a lot of positive reputation, and also that is totally analog technology pedal. So that was very much a good opportunity for our engineer and good experience.
Yeah, I think I don't think the market expected us to make a pedal like that, and I guess many people were surprised since Solar Sound and that hadn't really collaborated with a tone bender before. As you said, unfortunately, there was some, things that happened after launch, and the pedal ultimately was limited because of the parts. We couldn't get the parts to make any more, and that was the kind of huge challenge for us. So, it was a very, very challenging pedal, and certainly for the Waza lineup. And then after that, kind of very different, we had HM2W, and because the HM2 was very much a cult pedal, really, we didn't realize until kind of we started development how popular that pedal had become. So what sort of challenges were involved in the HM2W?
So usually our new product development start with a planning sheet, and we need to get approval from management side. But HM2W project, I promised people to make HM2W first. Then we proceed our inside process. So that is totally first time. And also HM2 core fan wanted to have the issue of HM2. But we decided to make that as a HM2W. So keeping original sound and keeping original looks, they are very much, nerd of HM2. So maybe that's the first time to have a custom mode switch on the back panel. And also we improved some point. A long time people wanted to improve. So that is the HM2W project.
I think this was a great, a great project for the fans. As you said, this development started from them, not from us, almost. And I remember we listened to many requests from the Facebook group about HM2W, again, trying to understand the wider customer and, kind of make the best choices for the overall. And of course, the first time we've listened so deeply around one pedal, and certainly the first product that's been developed that way. And then after that, again, the third one was FZ1W, and this product is also a Waza pedal that doesn't have an original. So what was the story behind the development on FZ1W?
So when we released TB2W, we had a lot of chance to touch vintage fuzz pedals. And we got a lot of knowledge, and also, we learned from the development history of fuzz. So we wanted to make our own fuzz. And also, TB2W was limited quantity production. So everybody complained about that, and we wanted to make something no limited quantity product. So that is FG1W. And FG1W is not modified some specific fuzz pedal, but we tried to use a lot of vintage fuzz. So, and also we have a huge respect to vintage fuzz. So we decided to use number 1 on the new product, FG1W. So that is not Waza version FG2, and also not FG3 or something. That's original FG1W. So that's use the silicon transistor and the totally analog circuit design. And we wanted to create our dream vintage fuzz sound with current available parts. That is FG1W.
I think, like you said, TB2W allowed us to understand fuzz and create our own unique fuzz sound using the kind of Waza development process that we've talked about. And I think this is a sort of variation expanded on those TB2 modifications and like you say, creating our own perfect vintage fuzz pedal. You know, so, and of course, as we said, FZ1 doesn't have that kind of original circuit, so we could kind of do our own thing. Through all of these new challenges, though, is there any change in concept for Waza pedal? You know, FZ1 doesn't have an original. Are we changing the concept of what we do for Waza?
Yeah, Waza pedal concept is, you know, using our craftsmanship, our long time history of the development know-how and analog circuit design. So, and creating special pedal. That is very much basic concept of Waza pedal. So, in that meaning, we have no change about the Waza craft concept. But from since we released Waza craft, already it's 8 years. So probably a little bit change and also a little bit wider development of Waza pedals. And I'm very happy if you guys feel our passion and also understanding both design skill or something.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, as we've talked about in, you know, this is our almost, you know, we have done 2 years worth of this kind of live stream and always talking about the passion of the engineers for everything that we do. But hopefully what you've heard today has kind of give you an idea behind the background and the ideas and thought process for Waza pedals and those sort of made in Japan pedals as well. And of course, I think everyone will be really excited to see what pedal could be next in the Waza pedal lineup as well. So, you know, thank you very much, Yoshi-san, for all of your explanation and details today. I can see a few more people have added some comments regarding their first Waza experience. So first experience was HM2 heavy metal, and their first pedal was also the HM2. So I think for them, that's kind of great, you know, history. You know, that's why we have done it. And also CE2W here, and then also TB2W has an original tone bender, and then of course FZ1. So you know, many people collecting all of them. People here saying love CE2, best chorus sound ever. Some requests for maybe the next one, Yoshi-san here as well. And also Boss did a fantastic job with HM2W. And as we wrote there, your voice, you know, everyone watching this, that's the reason that we made that pedal. And again, always trying to listen to the reaction from the market out there. So Yoshi-san, thank you again for your time today. When will be the next stream? When will we talk again?
Yeah, so 1 month later, June 29th. So theme would be behind the scenes product development. I want to talk about much more general product development, planning and process, everything.
Yeah, I think be interesting, you know, again, I'm sure many people always ask many questions about how we develop our products, how long it takes, and I think it'll be good to dive into that in one session. So yes, that will be Wednesday, June the 29th, at the usual times at 7:30 a.m. in the UK, 3:30 p.m. Japanese Standard Time, and 11:30 p.m. June 28th in LA. As always, thank you for joining today. Keep leaving your comments and impressions, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining. See you.